Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the Trader's Edge, folks. I treasure your presence here today, and my outcome is to help you to become a better money master. Now, folks, I'm not here to inspire you. Instead, I'm here to discuss how we lead an inspired life, folks. You know, the true measure of a leader. And I know each and every one of you out there, you're leaders, whether it's in your business, your household, whatever it is that you're doing. The true measure of a leader, folks, isn't how many followers a leader has. It's how many leaders that leader can create. So go out and create some leaders today, folks. We're going to take a look at the leaders in the marketplace on the way up, on the way down, you know, and hopefully you had a great weekend, a great Father's Day weekend, great Grandfather's Day weekend. It was good weather here in the Southeast and a great golf tournament. Of course, you know, what kind of golf tournament goes on until 10:30 at night? One, certainly, that they play out at the Olympic Club, the U.S. Open, and so it was a good tournament. Too bad that the weather was typical San Francisco weather on the last day with the fog rolling in, with it getting cold out there. But congratulations to Webb Simpson out there. So the question, folks, becomes, you know, so where are we in these markets? I mean, if we take a look right now at the futures market, you'd see that the Dow is off about 65 points or so. You'd see the ES Mini is down about 6 points. The Nasdaq's off 7. You know, the Russell 2000 is down 5. And maybe you'd say to yourself, not really too much. Well, let me tell you what the futures are really down. The Dow's off 155 points from its high from when it opened last night, or just shortly after it opened in the first half an hour. The ES Mini's down 16 to 17 points as we speak right now. That basically, folks, takes back all of the gains from Friday's upthrust when you had the S&P finish up 14 points. And I'd have to go take a look and see where the futures actually opened up on Friday. So maybe, you know, it hasn't taken back every thing, but dollar-wise, it probably has. Russell 2000 absolutely struggling out here, down 14 points when you take a look at it from the open last night. And what was it all about last night other than the U.S. Open? It was all about that grease fire, you know, and it's tough to put out a grease fire. You don't want to throw water on a grease fire, that's for sure. And what do you throw on a grease fire? Well, I guess what you throw on there, folks, is euros. But even when you throw euros on there, instead of putting out the fire, it just burns them up. And so that's where we're certainly going to start today. Because to try to piece this whole thing together, it is really about the currency marketplace. You need to be able to understand the currency market to get a feel for what's happening out here. And if you've been following us on TigerTV, and folks, you can always go to the homepage at TFNN.com, click on the TigerTV button. You'll be able to watch this show live. You'll be able to see my charts on the screen if you're listening on the radio. We absolutely appreciate that. When you get home or you get to the office, you can always catch the archive of this show. This is being on Channel 9. Now, if you've been following along, you know we've been taking a look at the euro. We've been taking a look at the butterfly pattern. That's that blue shaded pattern that's out here on my screen right now. You actually had the euro trade a little bit lower, but I left the butterfly pattern out there that's got the beautiful Fibonacci expansion and contraction numbers out there. And when we take a look at a normal bounce here, you know, I've given you a figure, a target on where the euro would move up to. And the target that I've given you is 1.27445. Please allow me to apologize this morning because I was absolutely wrong. What it actually got to was 1.27461. How do you like that, folks? That wasn't me that really came up with those numbers. All I was doing was telling you what the tools that I'm asking you to be able to incorporate into your trading said that, you know, when you do a bounce here, a dead cat bounce, and that's all that has occurred thus far, that's exactly, you want to be able to understand your swing points. Swing points, just major intersections in life. In the case of the euro, the swing point high that we're taking a look at before it started to head south was at February 24th when the euro was up at 1.34, looks like 1.34853. And then what happens? The euro makes an A to B equals CD down, makes a butterfly buy pattern, actually gets down to a price point low on June 1st. June 1st gets down to 1.22866. You just simply, from the top to the bottom, folks, you know, you just simply would use your retracement tool, the retracement levels that you want to have out there, 0.382, 0.618, 0.786, and that's it. You don't need 0.50. You just need those three numbers on your screen. Obviously, you're going to have 0 and 1 on your, you know, as far as your tool as well, just so you understand which way it is that you're making your measurements to and from. But in this case here, how do you like that? How does that work? Well, it works, folks, just simply because, you know, Leonardo Fibonacci, Leonardo de Pisa, He's got a number of names out there, but just simply understanding these retracement levels, sometimes they work almost right to the T. Even in this case here, when you're taking a look at a currency trade, getting right up to that 0.382 level. So what did the euro do ever since it got up there? It has sold off. It's trading towards the low of its session, not right at the low, but it's trading towards the lows. It's actually headed deeper. Now, that's on the daily chart. If we just simply flip over to the 30-minute chart, that's what we're going to do here right now, because you need to understand what you're going to see coming across this screen here. You're going to see this black line. Hopefully you see it as a black line. That black line, folks, happens to be the highs of August 24th and 25th, 2010. If you have been listening to my show here for a while, you know that those dates are really important. Those dates on any chart that you trade, August 24th, August 25th, 2010, are absolutely critical. You need to put those down on a pad of paper, even if you don't have a memory like a mouse like I do. That was a back-to-back planetary index date. One of them was like a 15 or 16. The other was a 2 or a 3p index date, just like today. Today, folks, is a 3 planetary index date. Now, if you were looking at the new American ephemeris, you wouldn't know that because it's got new planets in there or a new asteroid in there that was not originally there when, now the planets were out there, but when you took a look at the ephemeris and you took a look at the work that Larry Pesavento, that Dr. Ruth Miller did, it wasn't present in their daily aspectarian, so it wasn't a part of their study. But their studies, folks, were great studies, and so when I take a look at this, I take a look at the information based on the current ephemeris as well as the old work, or the older work, I should say, that Larry and Ruth did out there. And so today is also a 3p index date. It's a day when you should expect to see some type of turn. Maybe it's not today. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow as we come into the new moon cycle. It's the full moon cycle here that happened to put in the low on the euro, put in the low on our marketplace here. So what you can expect, folks, you can expect a market turn, especially when you're taking a look at that currencies rule the world, and currency is what's supposed to put out the fire. But the fire in Greece, folks, a Greece fire, was supposed to be put out by euros, and all that it's doing, it's burning those euros up. If we take a look at the 30-minute chart here on our screen, we'll go ahead and punch up to the 30-minute chart. What you're going to see is a couple A to B equals CD patterns. You want to learn how to buy and sell the D point. If you just learned one thing, only one thing, if you learned this tool, first, you learn how to be able to draw the ABCD patterns, which I absolutely can teach you, not just here on Tiger TV, but I certainly can do it either through my newsletter. I can do that through a course that I did 30 days ago. In fact, it was 30 days ago, I think, yesterday, or maybe it was on Saturday. I did a course on how to buy and sell the D point. If there was any one thing that you should learn out there, it's that. Now, there's a way for you to be able to do that. First, go to the homepage of TFNN.com. This week only, you can buy Tiger dollars. That means you work so hard for your money, folks. You need to make your money work harder for you. And the best way to be able to do that is to buy Tiger dollars. Why? Because you can take, $1 and turn it into $1.20, $1.25, $1.30. And that's, how else are you going to be able to do that? And you need to be able to, if you subscribe to any of our services, just go over there and do it right now. Now, there may be ways for you to be able to take that course and have it. And I'm talking about how to buy and sell the D point. If you're interested, you can send me an email at steve@tfnn.com. But make sure that you make investments in yourself, folks. Take care of yourself, and then you'll be able to take care of the others in your life. Well, here, you had an A to B equals CD up on the ES Mini. I'm really starting out at the lows here, going back to that June 12th time frame. The low out there is the 1.244 area. Make a B point coming into the 12 noon time frame on June 13th. The market pulls back, does about a 0.382 pullback. We can go measure that. Why don't we just measure that? We'll go from our low here, our A to our B. Let's see what type of retracement. Oh, yeah, 0.382. When you do a 0.382 retracement, it says you're likely going to do more than a 1-to-1. A to B equals C to D. The 1 to 1.272 expansion on A to B equals CD, folks, right up here at the 127.542. Of course, we knew by taking a look at the daily chart and trying to put it together where that 0.382 bounce was of the larger move. And you want to make sure that you always understand the larger move. You want to trade off of one chart, but you need to understand what's going up above you and what's happening down below you. And this is the way to do that. So what happens here? earlier, you have the euro last night open up after the activities in Greece. The euro gets up to a high, as we talked about, in that 127, 461 range. And then what's it do? This is a 30-minute chart we're looking at. What's it do between 7 and 7:30, folks? Sells off. 6:30 and 7, I should say. What's it actually do? Not only does it sell off, it makes one of my bearish engulfing candles, followed up by a second confirmation there. Now it's making an A to B equals CD down. It's already made the 1 to 2 A to B equals CD down. No bullish signs along the way. Says the euro wants to head to 1.25438 on its next thrust down, folks. Folks, by not being prepared, you make the choice of getting caught in some of life's unpleasant circumstances, such as a rainy day. Make sure if you're trading, folks, that your decision is to carry an umbrella. Make sure you're using stops out there, folks. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Price Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers, where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low price equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on TigerTV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Price Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Now, act now. With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Stalter, Dave Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pesavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing.
Stock market corrections are the number one reason that a buy and hold investment strategy produces the poorest results. And I have 73 years of data that proves it. Now, the good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. And if you're one of the 70% of American households relying on their 401ks and IRAs for retirement, you need the single strategy that is bulletproof against the turmoil of our stock market. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com under Breaking News, click on Success is a Numbers Game to receive this must-have free report. This bulletproof strategy may be days away from giving the next signal. Don't neglect your retirement, and don't neglect this signal. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com and order your free copy of Success is a Numbers Game today. Implement the disciplines contained in this report, and success will be yours for the taking.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short, powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Got the Dow futures off about 75 or so. S&P's off about 7.5. NASDAQ off 10. And the small caps leading the charge on the way down 7.8% right now. If we take a quick spin around the world markets, you've got the DAX trading up 7 points right now out at 62.36. The FTSE's turned negative while we were on break. They're down 5 points. You have the Nikkei was up nice last night, up 1 7/10%, 151 points. Of course, that was off of its session highs. In fact, we'll go take a look at Asia. We'll see that in Asia, you had also the Hang Seng up 193 points. That was off of its sessions highs. It was up 1% out there. Over in Spain, the IBEX is down about 3% this morning, down 173 points. King Dollar up 27 ticks right now, trading out at 82.24. You've got gold off $6 out at 16.22. Silver off 43 cents at 28.31. Light sweet crude down $2 at 82, on its way to 75. You've got natural gas up 4 pennies right now. And so let's take a look at the S&P futures, see what it is that we've got here on the screen. We've got the S&P futures right now making an A to B equals CD down. When you're making your A to B, when you're inside a trade, or if you're not inside a trade, you need to be willing to redraw your A to B equals CD down patterns. Now, this is the 10-minute chart that we're looking at here. Let me just get rid of the lines out there. What you'll see here, this first bar where my cursor is at, is when the futures opened up last night. What you can see is the futures got up as high as 1347.50. Did it at 640 as well last evening. Why is the 640 in the evening futures at 1347.50 important? Why? Because it made one of my bearish engulfing candles, completely engulfed the body of the prior session. We got a nice second confirmation on that next candle. And so now what you've got going on is you've got an A to B equals CD down on the 10-minute chart. We take a look at that, folks. What we're looking at here is our A point was at 1347. The B point happens to be now at 4:40 a.m. this morning, when it made a low of 1330 even Steven, as it should have. And then it makes a retracement. What kind of retracement? We'll go take a look at it, but it looks to me like a 0.382 retracement. So if we go from our high down to the A point, down to the B point, what we're going to see is 0.382 would have been 1337. And of course, what we know that it got to was 1337, actually 1337 and a quarter, but we're not going to worry about a quarter, are we? So that A to B equals CD says what you're going to see. You're going to see the ES Mini trade down to 1315, not the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD down at 1319, but it wants to make an A to B equals CD pattern down to the 1315 level. So put that in perspective, because we may see that today, folks. What we're talking about is going from 1347, you do the math on it, 1347 down to 1315. 32 points, folks. That would be 32 points from the high of last evening. So it's important to understand, in my opinion, it's important to understand what's going on in the futures marketplace. Why is 1314 the area that it'll head to? Well, because one of the things that you'll see there is you'll see a high volume bar. You'll see that high volume bar that came in at 310. Remember, out of nowhere was last Wednesday, I believe it was. It wasn't really out of nowhere. It was a rumor. It was a rumor that the, everybody in Europe, all the central banks were willing to do whatever it took to make sure that there wasn't a meltdown, which was pretty nice. They didn't exactly tell you how they were going to do it, but they did say that they were certainly going to do it. Well, if you take a look at where the area of resistance will be, it's going to be at that 1327.75. That's the high of that bar from 310 on June the 14th. Once that area is broken, you'll see the bottom of that get tested. That's the 13-14 area. That's the 13-14 that I'm projecting here on the A to B equals CD down pattern that you've got. And why? It's really all because when you take a look at all the currencies. It's not just one currency. If we go take a look at the king and see what the king is doing, and I know there's a king in Orlando that is celebrating. That's Arnold Palmer. Because why? Because one of the guys that he gave a scholarship to, Webb Simpson, that's the individual who won the U.S. Open tournament last night on a course that gave Arnold Palmer some fits. So I'm sure that there's a king. There's two kings that are celebrating. The other king happens to be King Dollar. Now, if you take a look at January 13th, what you'll see here, I'm going to just go ahead and delete this stuff on the screen. One of the things that I want to show you is, when you had the euro pop, when you had the pound pop last night, you certainly had King Dollar move down. It traded down to as low as 81.43 overnight. It's now trading at 82.20. What it's done, folks, it's gotten back into the upper part of its range. The upper part of its range happens to be about that swing point from January 13th at 82.04. I apologize, 82.04. You're trading at 82.21. The king on its way up to its highs as well. 877-927-6664. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits range from 6.5% to over 24%. And all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, at $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market takes and provides trade recommendations, including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guess. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. TFNN has just launched our most exciting sale ever. If you purchase any amount of Tiger dollars before Sunday, June 24th, you'll receive access to 7 live 90-minute webinars hosted by each of our technicians here at TFNN. Not only do you get a 20 to 30% bonus on your purchase as you normally do with Tiger dollars, but with this one-of-a-kind offer, you get over $1,000 in added value completely free. Each 90-minute live webinar usually sells for $149, and you get all 7 of them absolutely free. Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Ken Tree, Dave White, and Kate Stalter. You get all 7 classes completely free. Whether you're an experienced trader or you're completely new to the market, this sale is perfect for all levels of investors. Don't miss out on our best Tiger dollar sale ever. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today and purchase your Tiger dollars before June 24th. Don't wait and risk missing out on this one-of-a-kind offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
You got the Dow up 66 points, S&P's off 7, composite down 16, small caps down 6, leading the charge on the way down 0.9%. If we take a look at what's popping and what is dropping, you got Elster Group, ELT. They've got a cash tender offer from Melrose for $20.50. They're trading at $19.22 right now, a nice 17% pop. I believe Elster Group provides meters for water and gas and so forth. Also popping on the way up, you've got X-Tory Gold, XG, up $1.40. That's up 53%. Wow, that is a pop. What the heck happened there? You might have gold to buy X-Story. How about that? We'll go take a look at that for sure. So there's a nice 50% pop out there. You've got Pay, Verifone Systems. They're up 3% this morning. That's up 88 cents. Broadvision, BVSN, up 9% this morning. What is the reason that they are up? If there is any reason. Nope, I don't see anything out there. Then you've got, it's mostly the ETFs. Structures that are out there. You got Groupon up 54 cents. That's up 5% this morning. Don't know if there is something up there. If they're just pushing around. Barnes & Noble, BKS, rounding things up. Now these are, don't have anything really up, much. We got 4 stocks up $1 or more. If we take a look at what is dropping to the downside, you got DSW, the shoe retailer out there, down 12% right now. They expect their Q2 earnings per share to be below the forecasted estimates out there. So they are, let's see here. What else? We got the board's going to go repurchase. The board's going to go ahead and use money, their money to repurchase stock versus try to grow the company. You got to love that, folks. That's DSW, down $7 and change. You've got Body Center Corp, BODY. What is BODY? Let's go find out what they are. As they're struggling out of the gate this morning, they're off 41%. So let's go see what BODY is. I probably should know this, and I'm going to know it here in just a moment. If we take a look at Body Central Corp, operates a specialty retailer of young women's apparel and accessories in the South, Mid-Atlantic, and Midwest regions of the United States. Maybe my daughters know it. I certainly don't know it. I haven't seen one of their shops, or maybe I have. I just haven't paid attention. They are struggling again, down 40%. We'll go take a look at that for sure, just to be able to be certain that there's volume probably where it's trading down to, or that's where it's headed to. You got Buckeye Technologies, BKI. They're off $4, almost $4. That's down 12%. You got Salesforce Innovation, CRM. They're off 2.5%. You got Infinity Pharmaceuticals, INFI. They're off 16% this morning. Pioneer Natural Resources, PXD. They're off a couple of points. Let's see here. You got Icky. ICI. How else would you pronounce that? IBN. They are not IBM. IBN is in Nancy. They're off 4%. They're down $1.27. So if we take a look here, what I've got up on my screen, I do happen to have the Nikkei. Had one heck of a nice pop last night. But as I said, they traded overnight down to the low of their trading session. The actual low of their trading session was 87.11. They closed out at 87.21. That's after being up at 87.66. But it was a big pop, as I said. They were up a total of 151 points last night. If we take a look at the rest of Asia just to see how they closed out there, what you will see is in the Shanghai's case, they closed towards the middle part of their trading session. That is this candle right here. Let's go take a look at the Hang Seng, see where they closed last night. Hang Seng closing at almost at the low of its trading session. So the Hang Seng moved up to a high, a gap up yesterday for sure, but they gapped up to a high of 19,578. Closed out at 19,427. Still had a decent day out there, being up 193 points, but they were moving to the low of their trading session. So let's go take a look at some of those stocks that were popping and dropping out there. So let's go take a look at X-Story Gold. Let's just go see where that is trading out to. XG is the ticker symbol there. You can see the buyout, $4.09. You can see, boy, this thing, had traded as, this thing looks like somebody's getting a good deal here. This thing trading as high as $13 back in July 2011. The buyout is for, I've got to pull this up. Let's see if I can pull up the details on this. To receive $3.50 in cash and 46 and 0.4% of common shares. So I'm sure Tom and I will talk about that during the Money Masters show that follows this show. And then following that, we go up to Nude Mass to Basil Chapman, then over to the West Coast to Larry Pesavento, back here from 3 to 4 for the David White Show for the Tom O'Brien Show. So that's on X-Story Gold. Let's go take a look at the Elster Group. No, that's a buyout as well, I believe. Yeah, that's a buyout. So let's go take a look at the other stock here that is popping, Melanix, MLNX. Now, I believe that is one of the IBD stocks. Let me just see if this is one that we covered. Yes, it sure is. It's one that we covered last week. So that is trading up 4% right now, out at 69.30. We were taking a look at this stock here. This is now up over its highs. The high that we're taking a look at is the breakout, really, from April 19th, 5.2 million shares. This thing came back and tested the low of that breakout area. The low is $55. Came back and tested on May 17th. Got down to a low of 53.95. Closed up above that. 532,000 shares. We're pushing on 5.2 million shares. So I don't think so. Next trading session actually gave a glimmer of hope that it wanted to possibly go fill the gap. Gets down to a low of 53.29, closes at 54.12. That is below the gap up, which was at $55. Of course, that day, that trading session being May 18th, 529,000 shares. Moves higher, starts moving north on the 21st. And now what you've got it taking out is its most recent swing point from June 13th that had a high of 68.48. You're trading at $70 and change. On June 13th, you do 894,000 shares. This morning, 160,000 shares. So this has a little bit of juice inside it. Let's go take a look at some of those stocks there that were dropping. BODY being one of them. Let's go see where that is headed to. BODY. And BOD, whoa, look at this. You've got two major gaps down here. So this thing gapped down. Maybe we looked at it on Friday, and I just can't remember. But this thing here gapped down with volume on Friday, May 4th. May 4th. What are we talking? We're in June. Let me refresh the screen here. Sorry about that. Got to do that every now and then. There we go. Okay, so the gap down on May the 4th here, folks. Gaps down with 4.3 million shares. That's why I can't remember. That's why it didn't come up on Friday. So on May the 4th, gaps down with 4.3 million shares. So far today, this thing is trading out right now at 8.82, and you've done almost 2 million shares. 2 million shares in the first 12 minutes of trading. So this thing is having a blowout. The first tire blew on May 4th. The second tire is blowing out today. Let's go see where it's headed to. Oh, well, we can't see where it's headed to because it's well underneath its IPO. The IPO was on October 15th. The low of that was $13. Closed out at $13 as well on that trading session. Looks like it might have made an A to B equals CD up. pattern here. But this stock is now absolutely a broken stock. And one at a time, they're getting picked off here, folks. Look at that. So it makes an A to B equals CD pattern. Completes that actually last week, it looks like. No, April 27th. What am I talking about? Completes that April 27th. But this thing is absolutely having a huge, this is not just having a flat tire. Looks like they're going to hit the wall and obliterate itself. That is on BODY. I hope none of you are in that stock. And if you are, get your cash now. Don't start thinking you got a hope and a prayer on this thing, because no telling where this is going. It's got $8 before it goes out of business. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but you know, folks, this thing was trading at $30 not that long ago. You're down to $8 right now. Take your medicine and move on to the next trade. Speaking of the next trade, let's go take a look at DSW out there. DSW, and they are trading. They gapped down this morning. They're trading out at $52 and change. Let's go see what this is moving into. They have, interesting. They have a gap up here on May 22nd. Gaps up with 2.1 million shares. Don't know what was out there. Now it's in the process. Now what does it do this morning? Blows away a B point of an A to B equals CD down. So if we just simply draw that pattern in here, your A point is going to be the high of May 29th out at the 61.99 time frame. Your B point happens to be a low from June 4th when it makes a low of 55.95. Moves back up 4 trading sessions later. June 7th moves up to 59.97. Moves up there with 728,000 shares. Now the B point on this from June 4th, 573,000 shares. So far today you've done 1 million shares. So that, folks, is what you call wide price spread, accelerated volume. That is wide price spread, accelerated volume to the downside. Where is that headed to? Looks like it's headed to at least the $47 area. But let's go back and take a look at where you see the next volume bar. Well, that next volume bar out here happens to be January 10th, 2012. And if you take a look at the high, 48.46, low of 45.10. And I just suggested to you that this thing wants to travel down into the 47 to the 44 range. That would be a 1 to 2, A to B equals CD, or a 1 to 2.618, A to B equals CD. You can see the institutions are in there supporting the stock, though, this morning. It is trading off of its session lows, trying to push it higher. So you do have some big fish that are still in there trying to support this stock. That was on DSW. If we go take a look, what else is you got? Infinity Pharmaceuticals, INFI. That is trading well. INFI. That is trading down 15% this morning. So that gapping down, and that is headed back to its last gap down, its last high volume bar out there, which happens to be January 27th. The high on that is 753. You're at 1170 right now. So it'll be interesting to see where this closes. This has no problem taking on the swing point out here. So what's it really running into? Well, it looks like you've got some institutional buying on this thing along the way. Your first area here happens to be March 28th, 1.3 million shares. Looks like that is what is trying to support this stock. So a low of 1143 up to a high of 1236. 1.3 million shares there. Today so far you have done 411,000 shares. Let's go take a look at, let's go see what's happening in the commodity marketplace. Let's go switch over, and because we can come back to stocks that have got that are popping and dropping. And so let's go take a look at what's going on in the gold marketplace. Pretty much flat. You're down $6 right now, but let's go take a look at that. So we find that here on the screen. So you got gold trading out at 1622. Gold trying to get up and test the bottom of this trend line. And, unfortunately, not an exact price that I can really give you on that. It probably is going to be in the 1644 range that it wants to go ahead and test. Try to get back inside that trend, but more likely just going to test that area and fail. Trading at 1622 right now. Again, I think it's probably about 1644, which I'm looking at the May 11th downdraft candle out there. What else could gold be doing? That's on the weekly chart. So let's go switch over to a daily chart. Maybe that'll give us a little bit better indication. Window, tile, vertical. Okay, let's go see what the daily chart here is doing. The daily chart looks like it's running into its 50-day moving, the 200-day. So it's moving into, can't get above that 200-day moving average. The exponential moving average is the one I'm talking about right now. That happens to be up at 1636. So I gave you 1644. Looks like about 1636-ish is what it wants to try to hit. Maybe wants to hit this, the top of the shooting star, which it is testing from June 6th. The high there, 1642.40. You get a close back below the low of that, which would be 1614.14. You're not that far away, 1621. That sets up going back and testing the bottom of its most recent move higher, which would be the June 8th time frame, low of 1556, high of 1596. Trade out at 1622 right now. If we go take a look at silver, high-ho silver, see what silver's doing. You're down 1 3/10%. Right now, you're down 40 cents, trading out at 28.33. So silver is struggling here. Silver wanting to at least come down now on the, I'm looking at the 120. Let's go put this on a daily chart. Well, I can tell you on the 120-minute chart what it's trying to do. It's trying to go down and test the low of June 14th, 10:10 a.m. That low is 28.15. You get a close below 28.15. That sets up moving down. Really what it's going to do, it's going to set up moving all the way down to $27.22. It's inside that bar. That was a big bullish engulfing candle. It's inside that bar. That bar goes back to June 1st, folks. So it looks like silver on its way down to 27.22. 877-927-6648. Got the Dow off 39 points right now. S&P is off 4. Small caps off 4 as well. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective, your returns. Direction shares sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down. You want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. And investors should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully investing prospectus and summary prospectus and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. Prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. Funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders, and investors. Dynamic strategies. Investors in the funds should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled the company. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style. The opening call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. Chapman Wave gives you any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I invaluable tool to help analyze potential of the market each day. It gives you opportunities for short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend using the Chapman Way. Very strong support for this opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to your trading and investing. The Money Masters. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Got the Dow off 49, S&P's off 14, and you talked about being able to draw the line in the sand where the battle is going to be taking place today. On the S&P, you can just simply come over to the 10-minute chart on the ES Mini, and you're looking at the time frame here. We took a look at this during the opening, or maybe it was the second segment of this morning's show. And thanks again, folks, for being here. We're taking a look at the 3:10 in the afternoon time frame. That was on June 14th. I believe that was last Thursday, Tuesday or Thursday. My day, let's see, 14th. That would be Tuesday. Yeah, today's night, Wednesday. You know what? I'm not even going to guess. It was the June 14th. That much I can tell you. It was Thursday, I think it was. So it was Thursday when you had that push up at 310. That was based on the news that the central bankers, or whatever the reason was, that the news was that they were going to do everything possible to make sure that they threw everything on that grease fire that they possibly could. Of course, what we know is that they threw euros on that grease fire, and that has not done anything to put that fire out. If you take a look at the high there, your line drawn in the sand is at 1327.75. You can see as the market was moving lower, as was opening between that 9:30 and 9:40 session, got down to 1327.25. And that held as a support area. That is where the line is drawn. You get a close below 1327.75, and you're at 1331 right now, then it's going to go tack the bottom. That is the 1314 area target that I gave you earlier. That is on the ES Mini. That is where you can watch the battle being drawn. Now, what we were doing last week was we just started to go through 1 through 50, if you will, the IBD 50 stocks. So we got through, I believe, 6 of them last week. Number 7 happens to be Apple. So let's go take a look at Apple, see what it is doing today. You've got AAPL is the ticker symbol, and they are actually trading up $2.20, AAPL. Trading out at 576 and change. And if we take a look at Apple trying to make an A to B equals C to up, but it doesn't have any conviction to the upside. And okay, that didn't work real well. Let's try that again. That was like a little hocus pocus dominocus. And so now we're going to go, there we go. Now we're going to take a look at it. So Apple trying to take on the swing point, its B point, or maybe we might have to redraw this B point, but the May 31st time frame, which had 17 million shares, 581.50 is the high there. It tried taking that out. It tried doing that last Monday with 21 million shares, but it closed towards its session lows. That high now, 588.50, 21 million shares. That's really the next swing point out there. Of course, when we take a look at Apple, there is the gap up that is holding it. That gap up goes all the way back to March 14th. The low of that candle, 574.50. That's really 575.40. Got that little dyslexic there. 575.40. So that's what it is trying to do. Just simply some light volume up here. Looks to me like distribution, because it's right there in the center. It's part of the A to B equals CD down. And I don't think Apple's going to have too much difficulty taking out the new B point on this larger A to B equals CD down, which is at the May 18th time frame, 26 million shares. If you take a look at what it did as the market moved up last Friday and last Thursday, right? You had the market moving up 150, 200 points or so. What was Apple doing? Apple was taking a rest, folks. On Thursday, 12 million shares, no wide price spread at all. On Friday, it does 12 million shares, no wide price spread there as well. Folks, stay tuned. Tom and I will be up next. Then we go to Basil Chapman up in Newton, Mass. Then Larry Pesavento in Tucson. Back here for the David White Band from 3 to 4. Have a great day, folks, or else I'll see you in about 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. Take care, folks.